Good morning, dear Thai, dear Sangha, dear friends. Thank you for being here with us with the Day of Mindfulness. So we will have the Q&A panel session today. And it's hard to do the introduction. So the Q&A session is help us to try to understand ourselves and help ourselves to recognize what we still struggling with in our life. And please, now we can take some moment, reflect yourself with your mind. Come back, bring your mind into present moment and really relax. Follow your breathing and relax with all the intention. No question now. Relax first. Try to connect your body and mind, dwelling in the present moment. And let the universe try to be with you in this moment. And really connecting what is your deepest aspiration, what is your question about life, about your spiritual path. And we'll listen to sound the bell so that you can have a chance to calm your mind, relax, and taking refuge in the present moment. After three sound the bell, we will invite some of you may have any question about your practice, about your struggling personal growth. So you can go up there. There's an empty chair for you. And you may ask the question from your heart without any intellectual questions, because the questions already answered by Master Google. Yeah. If some question related to theory, you can search on Google, because we are all practitioners here. We are not Master Google yet, you know. So let us listen to sound the bell. So as you see that we have 3 people here in this panel. And may we introduce ourselves for the audience. So I want to invite Sister, we only have one sister here, so lady first. So she will introduce herself and Brs Emptiness.
So dear respected Thai, dear brothers, dear sisters, dear friends, welcome to the day of mindfulness in Blue Cliff Monastery. My name is Sr Boi N. It means in English, it means Sister Palm Leaf. I have been here for more than 1 year. Yeah. And if you have any question from your heart, so please ask the question. And I will end because I am only the nun in this panel, and I will choose the easier question to answer, and the difficult question we will hand it to two brothers. Thank you.
So, dear Thai, dear Sangha, maybe I introduce on my right side, Brother Pháp Hop, Brother Harmony. I think he has been a number of years to the center in Germany too, so he speaks some German, if you like to try it. He's very young monk, very bright and very creative. He did some painting and do a lot of artwork, and also he learned English very well, so now he can give Dhamma talk in English and answer the question too.
Thank you for your compliment. Actually, Brs Emptiness is my mentor in this winter retreat. So that's why he complimented me, watering the flower. So I'm his mentee, so I will do the same. So here's Brs Emptiness. He has been ordained for over 15 years. 15 years. And he is one of my elder brothers in the brother side. He speaks a lot of languages, including French, English, Vietnamese, and some Chinese. Yeah. He just come back from Indian trip, and he had learned a lot of about the Buddha holy place, and he really enjoyed it. So he tried to bring the practice of love and compassion, what had been taught from the Buddha, and benefit for many people, young people, little bit old people. And he has many ways to bring the Dhamma, like Facebook is one of his way. So it's many people know him from Facebook. So he brings the practice. He's sharing his photos from the Blue Cliff Monastery, from the teaching, the Dhamma talk, Dhamma sharing. And that's the very good way to connect young people to the monastery. And we are here for you. So please ask the question. You can starting to go up here, sit with us, and we breathe together for 3 breaths, and then we hear one sound of the bell, after we finish one question, and then next people will come up and ask the next question. So again, the question that really resonate with yourself, not intellectual question. The question that come from your heart, it benefits with a lot of people around you. So you not ask for yourself, you ask for everybody. Yeah. So we also not answer for you only, but we answer for many people. Thank you. Or if you're very shy, you can write down on a piece of paper and you can pass to someone and we can bring it here.
Wait for other people to come.
It's taken me a long time to be able to ask this question. I am not close to my sister, my biological sister, and I only can bear to be around her about once a year, and I don't know what happens exactly between us, but invariably I become angry and say angry words when I am with her, and so I stay away from her. And recently, and I understand to some degree why this occurs, in that she probably doesn't really know or see me as I am, and she talks all the time about people I don't know, and then she'll ask me a question like, how was your trip? And I maybe get one sentence in and she isn't really interested and she changes the subject. So the other thing is that she has told my friends things about me that are really mine to tell, and she should not be telling them those things about me. I don't care if she tells those things to her friends, but it's my story to tell to my friends. So recently, for years, I've tried to figure this out and try to figure out how to communicate with her in terms of improving the understanding between us. And every time I think about having a conversation with her, which starts with, I love you, and I actually pray for you with loving kindness meditation every day, and all your sons and their families. I drafted something yesterday to start that, because I thought, well, if I write it down, maybe I can communicate it. I really think it's more important to communicate it in person, but I'm not sure I'm capable of doing that. And I think I'm afraid of whatever it might open up if I tell her my feelings. So I feel like I'm at the precipice of jumping over to take the leap to have this conversation with her, but I just stop at that cliff all the time and can't seem to go beyond it. even though I think this is the furthest I've ever come to really thinking I want to do this, because we're both in our 70s now, and while we worked really well together when our mother died to do whatever had to be done at that point, I guess there's just pain for me in being around her, and I don't really want to experience that pain, I guess.
So, dear Thầy, dear Sangha, thank you for your question. I think this is a situation many people have. You're not the only one. I think we all grew up under the same environment in the family, and we inherit a lot of seeds of mental formation, mean feelings and perceptions and reaction. I think I too have several brothers, sisters, and we are not the best friend, but at least we have resolved many of our negative emotions and things. So at least we are on a friendly basis. We don't talk all the time, but at least we don't have a negative relationship. There are a couple steps we can do. First of all, we need to practice mindfulness on a daily basis, get to know our emotion, our feelings, and about our mental formation, meaning like sadness, angry, all those, some of the amount of 51 mental formation we all have. There is a practice of beginning anew. A practice of beginning anew. I think we're providing a step for you so you can read it. And it needs some practice, so it's not just for reading. For a number of years, I done sometimes what we call writing loving letter. Sometimes when we meet in person, we have a lot of internal knot, meaning complex and kind of resentment, maybe from the past, from, I think when we were young sister in the family, whether we feel that our parents treat the other sister more lovingly than us, those kind of little things that are among siblings. So writing love letter is like a practice of beginning anew, but we volunteer on the basis first. We write the letter to, say, our sister, our brother, and we basically emphasize on her good qualities. We remember in the past any good moment that we have been together, any nice thing that she has done for you or for our parents. For example, sometimes in the sibling, maybe one person volunteer to be close to the parents and to take care of the family kind of thing. So a lot of time we take for granted, we think about only the negative thing in the person. But if you look deep down, there's a lot of positive thing in the person. And we tend to concentrate only on the negative part of the person because we think well, that person can improve, that person hasn't treated me properly, that person, but there are still a lot of good quality in that person. So it's a process of changing our view. First of all, for ourselves. The same thing, we also have maybe some trait of personality character that we prefer not to have. So we're not like a saint, you know. So when we deal with another person, we have a relationship with a person, we reluctantly, inadvertently say something or react something that might cause more interformation with the other person, be with the sibling or be with the friends. The nice thing about friend is we have a clean slate. We choose somebody that we like and we make friend with, and usually that person has a clean slate and take it for granted, try the best to be nice to us. Now, for our siblings, sometimes we have some past relationship in the past that creates some kind of complex, some kind of resentment. Because I believe when I was young, many of my elder brothers and sisters feel that I'm lazy, I don't contribute enough to the housework, because I'm the youngest. So my mom kind of, loved me so much that my elder brother and sister resented. And partly I contribute too. It's not to. So when I have a relationship with my sibling, they have that kind of sense of resentment. For example, they were saying, why don't you get married and have children, contribute to society just like everybody? So they think that I'm copying out by being a monk, for example, those kind of things. But I remember I wrote several loving letters to them. I also recount some incident when they helping me, they were helping my other brother and sister, we were helping my parents. For example, one of my sisters volunteered to take care of my mom and my father when they grow old, and they were very sick until they pass away. So that is a beautiful trait that she has, rather than concentrate on a negative thing about it. So the thing is to have that love letter, and I practiced for many times. Like I wrote the letter, then I folded, put in an envelope, and I put in my dresser. I don't send it right away. And 1 week, 2 weeks later, I open the envelope, and I read it, and I say, "Whoa, my mind hasn't cleared up yet. I still feel a little bit of resentment. The language is not very loving enough." And that's what happened when we have a direct conversation. Then I rewrite another letter, and I folded, put the envelope, and put in the dresser again. And then a few weeks later, I read it again. So every time you improve, it's a process. Sometimes we call, I'm not sure what the word, repentance or transformation from inside. So the more you transform the way you see the other person, eventually when you meet the other person, the word, the phrase will come out right. Because we do it spontaneously. But having a mindful breathing, having a mindful mind, and especially we clear all the negative emotion that form the barrier between the two of us. When we meet the person, we are able to naturally express and send the vibes or send the feelings to the other person. So every time I write a letter and I put in a drawer, and because I have to think a lot, I have to reflect on myself as well as my relationship with her, then I transform myself. Then I can see the result, because 2 weeks later I read the letter, I can see how much improvement I have. And maybe with the good letter I would like to send to her. And then when I'm satisfied with several tries, then I can send to her. And then sometimes she might not respond right away because she still has some resentment. Then you write another letter. And the same thing you keep in the drawer and then you read again. So in the process you might write maybe 3 or 4 letters, and each letter you might write 4 times. And this you can do it not only to the person still living, but also the person who has passed away. Maybe like a grandmom, a grandfather, or something like that. So in the process, you cleanse your heart, you cleanse your mind. So you become a better person. So it's not just relationship with just that person, whether the sister, but it could be with your parents, could be with your friends, could be with your ex or your children, anything like that, anybody. So in the process, in the long run, you have really transformed yourself from inside and being a better person, being a more happy person. Then when you interact with the other person, you don't create a lot of information, because we have to start from the present moment. And then slowly, from the act and the word you create in the present moment, you can go back and you change the past. I hope it's clear enough. I can go on, but I think I want to do something. Thank you.
So my question is, how do you center yourself when you're feeling strong emotions? Because like when I feel strong emotions, I feel like they consume me and they kind of like take over, and I have difficulty centering myself. So what are your best techniques for centering?
Dear respected Thai, dear brothers, dear sisters, dear friends, thank you for your question. And I think the question is not only related to you, but maybe it's related to all of us here. Because according to the Buddhist psychology, every one of us have 51 mental formations. And but in our daily life, depend on the way we live and depend on the way that our parents and society, like from the school or friends around us, which kind of seeds that they water to us, and which kind of seed you receive from your parents, your ancestors, and so on. And your strong emotion is not only you. You have to be responsibility for your strong emotion, but it relates to the people around us. So don't feel sad or feel inferiority about your strong emotion. Yeah, this is a part of us, and you were transmitted down by your ancestors and your parents and the people who are close to you. So, but I think that the very important thing that you know that you have the strong emotion and you want to have better life, happy life, and you want to transform it. This is the most important thing. Maybe I haven't finished yet. So maybe you listen to one sound of that. So maybe one of our practice, whenever we have the strong emotion, that you come back to yourself, be with yourself, come back to your breathing. Maybe you can place your hand on your stomach, on your abdomen. Yeah, you can do it now. And while you are listening to the sound of the bell, and when you're breathing in, you can feel your abdomen rising. When you're breathing out, you feel your abdomen falling. Just do like that for a few seconds. And when you do like that, you bring all your attention back here, down here, in your stomach, and you don't think why you have a strong emotion. If the more you think up here with the strong emotion, and our strong emotion will drive us to crazy. Yeah. Maybe we can do very crazy thing. Yeah, and maybe we can do things that maybe in the future we will regret. But at the time you have strong emotion, please stop and don't do everything. Just find a quiet place and come back to your breathing, come back to your body, and be aware of your body. And we have Thai often teach us about the method of stopping and relaxing. If we can stop in that very difficult situation like that, and we'll be safe, and people around us will be safe. And luckily that now you know how to practice, because you have come here and you really want to try to find out in order to transform that strong information. This is the good news. Now just continue on. Maybe outside in the society, maybe some people like you, they really don't know the way. So please keep moving on this way, on this practice. And so I think that very lucky that we have the Sangha here. So if you can find the Sangha around you, or you can find the friends that they support you on the practice, so please join the Sangha, and please, whenever you have the opportunity, so please come to the Sangha and practice the Sangha with the Sangha. And day by day, you will know the method to master your emotion and yourself. Thank you.
I know that the world has been spinning long before I've been here, and it's going to spin long after I leave. And every interaction I have with people, I look at it as a short, infinite time, and I'm always looking to maximize that time. How has joining the monastery maximized your time and your interactions with people? And what is the single most important thing you could recommend for each of us to maximize our time with everyone or anyone we interact with?
Thank you for your question. For us, many times our teacher talking about come back to the present moment, follow your breathing, listen to the bell, breathe, walk, eat, sleep. Something very normal, something that we all doing and you're all doing out there too. So what does it mean? What is the difference? The difference is when we eat in the monastery, when we walk, when we listen to the bell, when we listen to each other, when we questioning, when we answering, we know that we are doing those things. Not because of the emotional, not because of your forgetfulness. You're answering that you know that you are answering. So that's the key. The difference between here in the monastery and outside world, just simple thing, is the mindfulness. Whatever we're doing, we turn it into a change of practice. It's a condition for us to maintain our awareness with our life. So we're fully aware what we are doing. We are not like a zombie, right? Zombie. What you're doing, you're eating, you walk, you don't know you are walking. It's like a zombie, like a dead body, just walking. But why is it so important for us to maximize our time with our reality, with our life? Because it's the essence, it's the goal, it's the ultimate goal of all living beings. Many people want to chasing with money, status, material life. Even the rich people, they're still suffering. Why? Not only poor people suffering, but a lot of rich people I met in San Francisco, a lot of billionaires, they're still suffering. A lot of people trying to, they all have questions, and most of them they have the same question. Like, how meditation can help me relax? How meditation help me to improve my business? Something like that. But the fact is we need to take good care of ourselves in order to take good care of others, people. Because the present moment is made of the past and the future. So our teacher say, if we take good care of our present moment, it means that we do our best for the future already. So if you're thinking about the future and trying to think, what I gonna do next? What's my business, my relationship will work out? How? And you just keep thinking, day after year, and then you sacrifice your present moment. So you are not living in the present moment. You are not taking care of your future as well. So our teacher always teach us to breathe, Like Sr Boi N just shared that we need to have a reminder, a friend, a community to take in refuge, to remind us regularly to come back to present moment, to maximize our potential quality of our life. We take good chance of it every moment. Yeah. That is the practice, very simple, but very powerful. Everybody can do it, but it's a process to study and to master. It sounds very simple. Come back to yourself, breathe and smile. Okay. But when you face to the situation, the real situation that challenge you, is it easy to breathe? Is it easy to letting go? It's hard. So we need to engage. It's not about good or bad. It's a perfection or it's imperfection. It's about courage to engage. Engage in every moment, every situation that we face. Because the most dangerous thing for all of us is the disengagement. Because when we're not engaged with our life, because we fear, there's something trigger behind the disengagement of ourselves. Maybe it's from fear, maybe it's lack of trust in ourselves, in humanity, in families. So what trigger our fear? What trigger our disengagement? We need to ask the question. So that if you have that question, that answer, you stay in the present moment. And you know which way to maximize your time. In the present moment. I hope this answer will help you a little bit.
Hello. We came to the monastery here as a small group, and we've had a lovely time over with the sisters on the sisters' side, and we've enjoyed very much over here on the brothers' side. So my question is possibly more from a Buddhist philosophy point of view. We live in a world where many of us are striving for equality between all beings. What is the Buddhist philosophy on equality between all beings?
Dear Thầy, dear Sangha, dear Ma'am, I think I'm trying to answer both the previous question about maximizing the impact on society and also have equality in Buddhism. There is an entrepreneur, I think his name is Elon Musk. He was a child prodigy. And he innovated a lot of things. He started a new electric car company, and then he started the space industry. He created. So his idea is we squabble a lot among us on the earth, and so he wants to explore and send human beings to the moon and to Mars to start anew, maybe have a quality of life in the moon or in Mars. But guess what? It's not going to happen. The reason because we have sent the same state of mind in the people who are going to the moon or to Mars. There are three things that Buddhism mentioned a lot. One having to do with greed or desire. The second thing has to do with hate or racism or disdain. And the third is ignorance. Ignorance to the nature of our being, of our mind. And as long we not resolve that, we don't carry with us everywhere we go. So if you notice in Europe, they've been fighting each other for a number of years in the Middle Age. Then they say, well, let's find a new land, and they come to the United States of America. And guess what? They bring the same set of mind. So to me, when we have a present situation in the United States, for example, that's because we allow greed, desire, hate, racism, and ignorance to come to power. If we practice transforming ourselves from inside, then we help other people to transform from the inside. We have a center we call the way out is in. That means we have to go inside ourselves, reflect our mental formation, our state of mind, our heart, and transform from within. After we have transformed ourselves and we bring a better quality to our life, meaning that we are more happy and at ease in our own skin. We are able to generate happiness regardless of which environment, which situation we are in. So we're not depending on the outside condition for our happiness, our joy. And having community does help a lot, because at the beginning we are fragile, so we need support. So having people to help us to become happy, enjoyable, and kind of person, it becomes a habit. Then we can approach to the next person out in the society, in the family, and help that person to transform himself or herself and bring a better quality of life. So some of the quality we talk about in Buddhism is stability. You are stable, you're not swayed by outside people, whether people shout at us or do something bad to us. We're not affected because we already have a solidity inside of us and having happiness inside of us. Meaning we not depend on outside conditions to be happy. We can generate our own happiness, our own joy. And we have a fluidity, like clarity of mind. So sometimes we use those sentences like solid as a mountain, reflecting like a calm water, or free as the air. Another thing is have a space, has freedom, that you not feel like you are being oppressed by some kind of stress, some kind of repression, but you feel free. You feel like you're not bound by something. Often we stick in some kind of situation, some kind of relationship, some kind of thing. Maybe we don't have a happy relationship, then we feel heavy. We feel heavy in our heart, we feel heavy in our mind. So the practice that we generate here in a mindful community and helping each other, watering the good seed in each other, help us to look inside of us and see if they have any internal formation, and we can transform ourselves. And we become lighter and lighter, lighter and more happy. So that is the quality of the life. Along with that, we develop kindness, because when we suffer and we're able to transform our suffering, we feel a lot of compassion for other people. We want to help other people. But then we understand how we have transformed ourselves so we can better to help the other person. And also that has to do also, we maximize our impact on society by transform from inside first. Sometimes when you try to do it home, when you come here, you stay for a day or a weekend or something, you feel very wonderful. But when you come back to your home, you don't have any support, and the energy dissipates very quick unless you have some support from friends or from sometimes a local group who meet for meditation and so on, and know the practice of mindfulness, mindful living, so you can help to transform myself. And sometimes many people come for a week or a weekend, and they feel that's not enough, so the next weekend they come again. If they happen to live close by, they come very often. And they come until they transform themselves. And sometimes the transformation is very subtle. It happens a little bit every day. If you practice mindful living every day, in every action, every thought, what we do on a daily basis. And slowly, if people haven't seen you for a while, they will see you transform a lot. And then after that, it's easy to come and help other people. And the first also, you improve your quality of your life by not being generate your own happiness, your joy, and not depend on the outside condition in order to be happy. Thank you.
So this is the last question because of the time limit. So we have, sorry for the last question. If you have any question still that you want to ask after this, you can meet some of the monastic behind, and you can choose the times to meet them.
Thank you. I always feel most mindful and most connected when I'm outdoors or spending time in nature, but I live in a city and it's a very different environment, and I find myself easily distracted and becoming disconnected. Do you find that the environment impacts your practice, and do you have any suggestions for how to help maintain mine when I live in a city?
So thank you for your question. And if you observe around and look around, you can see that most of the Zen monastery usually they located in the mountain or somewhere in the environment that they have a lot of nature. So it's easy for us to focus on our practice, and this is the truth. The environment will impact our practice, our mental health, and as well as our physical body. But not most. Some people, they can choose the environment they live in. For example, for some rich people, they can have the house in the city for them to work, and a house in the countryside for them to relax. And most of us, we only can choose one, and maybe because of the limit of our capacity. But I think in the city, we also can practice, can apply our practices in our daily life. Like if you live in a small room or in apartment, you can set up the clock chiming. The clock, when every 15 minutes they chime, and you can use that as the bell of mindfulness to help you to come back to yourself, to be with yourself and connected with your body and your mind. Or if you go to work, and maybe you can set up the time 5 or 10 minutes earlier, so you can do walking meditation from your apartment to your parking lot. Or when you sit on the car, take like 3 breaths or 10 breaths to breathe in, very deep breathing. We call conscious breathing before you start the key, before you try to work. This is the way you come back to yourself and really taking care of yourself and check in what is your state of mind in this present moment. Or from your work, usually you have to go to the bathroom. You can use bathroom to be as the place for you to come back and reconnect with yourself. There's many ways, many very little things. But if you really want to practice, you can do it. Or I think most of the big cities, they have a park, and maybe one of a week or 2 or twice of a month, you can go there to enjoy the nature and do walking meditation or enjoy many things there in the park. And I think this is enough. And maybe if you want more, you can find some book. In the bookstore, we have some book that apply for the busy people in the society. So, good luck.
Thank you for Sister Boi N and Brother Emptiness, Brother Pháp Khong, and myself to try our best to answer your questions. So thank you for your question as well. It's also benefit a lot not only for you, but for us as a brother and sister, that we can understand you more. And for the audience, also some of the questions may be related to their life. And so please come to our monastery as your second home. It's very cheap here. Yeah, You don't need to be rich. You can have a house in the city. You can work at a city. But you need to help rest, come back here. This is spiritual home for you. Yeah? Please taking care of yourself, and please bring the practice, what you have learned, and bring it back to the city. And cultivating is a habit. You need to cultivating a new lifestyle. Be mindful. Whatever you're doing, need to be mindful. Every chance is a practice. As Sister Boi N just have shared. Yeah, everything is a chance of practice. Take good use of it. Someday it's very helpful. Thank you very much. We'll listen to sound of the bell for end the session.